Hey guys, Jamie here. So today I just wanted to just kind of show you some things that I got. Like now that it's the Christmas season, and we all like to indulge. And this is like I will say this is one of the hardest times of year for me to um, be disciplined. Like I still am disciplined. You know. Uh, for the most part, like I do indulge, in things on Christmas Day, Christmas Eve. I really try to leave it like right up until, Christmas comes. But you know how everyone's indulging in the whole season. But then after that comes, like the weight gain, you don't feel as good. I mean, your mood's crap. A lot of people will get like depressed and stuff in January. And I really think that it's all the indulging at Christmas time, the high fat foods, the salt, the alcohol. So, anyways, I just picked up a couple things, and I have this every single year, and they're just like fun things to have that I like, I enjoy. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but and it makes me feel like all, it's all Christmassy, warm and cozy, and I get to still enjoy it, but it's low fat, okay? And so I always get this. I live in Canada, and this is organic sweet apple cider, and it's the only ingredient is organic pure pressed apples, okay? This was like 15, 16 bucks for this. And then so what I do is obviously heat it up, and I'll put like cinnamon sticks in there and like cloves. I mean, you can put in whatever you want. Now, most people would probably make this into, what is it called? Some sort of alcoholic beverage. I don't know if it's called a hot toddy or maybe that's something else. I forget. But usually people will have this sometimes with alcohol, but I don't do that. I just have it just like this, and I'll put it over the stove, and I'll put cinnamon sticks in there and like cloves and whatnot. You could put some orange slices, and it's nice and warm and cozy, and I'll do that. And it's obviously very sweet, okay? So I'll do that at nighttime, sitting by the fire and, playing Christmas music. And it really does feel like a treat where I'm not like missing out, but it's, actually very, very good for you. Okay. So yeah, I don't know if you can, this again, like I said, is in Canada, but I'm sure you have your own version wherever, wherever you live. And then another thing that I pick up, and I get these are very expensive though, but I do get them a few times over the holidays because that's really the only time of year I think that they're out, that I see them, and that's chestnuts. And chestnuts, it's just such a fun thing. I never grew up eating chestnuts, but a lot of people, part of their family tradition is like, actually roasting chestnuts by, an open fire or in the oven anyways. And I never had these when I was growing up. That just wasn't a thing. But yeah, so I've gotten into this in the last few years, and it's kind of like you have to, when it comes to chestnuts, like I'll soak them, okay, wash them, soak them, and then you're supposed to pierce like 2 little holes in them. And what you can do is you can just roast them, or some people will boil them and then roast them to make them like a little bit softer, I think. And they're actually just so delicious. Like they're very nutty, but again, there's like no overt fat in here. So it's a low fat snack. And again, it just, I don't know, it feels like so Christmassy, right? And you can play, chestnuts roasting on an open fire and sit by the fire if you have a fire. I got a wood stove, so it's really nice. So that's another treat that I'll have a lot leading up until like actual Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, because I really don't want to indulge for a whole entire month and have all, that comes with it, okay? So I do this stuff a lot leading up till like Christmas Eve and stuff. And then another thing that you can do is, I love dates, okay? And what you can do is you can take dates, you split it open, and this is more of an indulgence. You could put a little bit of regular peanut butter on there, and then a sprinkle of chocolate chips if most people like to have chocolate around Christmas time. But what I recommend is just getting like the powdered peanut butter if you want to keep it low fat. If this is like a day where you're going to have a little bit of a treat, whatever, use the regular peanut butter, and you don't have to put a lot on, okay? Like don't put a whole spoonful on one date. But I'll just buy powdered peanut butter, which is much lower in fat, and to me, it still tastes really good. Yeah, you can tell it doesn't have as much richness because all the fat's not in it, but it still has the peanut butter flavor. And you can do almond, they have powdered almond butter, powdered cashew butter. I don't know how those taste, but yeah, so you can use the powdered, you mix it with water, or you can mix it with maple syrup to make it even sweeter, because sometimes I do that too. And you just spread a little bit of that on there. And if you want to, like, you could do a couple chocolate chips for more fun, or if you're not eating chocolate, you could do carob chips, which I have used those before. Or you could do, if you don't want to eat dairy, like if I ever get chocolate chips, they're like a dairy-free one. They just have 3 ingredients. I make my husband chocolate chip cookies, and that's the ones that I use. And what else could you do? I mean, you could also sprinkle some like toasted like pistachios on top, like smash them, like roast them, smash them up in a bag, and just sprinkle ever so slightly a little bit of, pistachios or whatever your favorite nut is, like a pecan or something. And it doesn't have to be a lot, guys. You don't have to put a whole spoonful on each one, just like a little bit. And it really, really does hit the spot, I have to say, okay? But yeah, so those are some of the snacks that I will have, leading up, where I still feel like I really get to enjoy the whole season. And another thing that I'll do is I'll make like cookies. You can do two things. I will either mix pure pumpkin with a form of sugar, whatever sugar you like, or maple syrup, and then oats. Okay, and I'll make these oat cookies. And if you wanted to, you could put, a little bit of chocolate chips or carob chips in there. And I think, do I add a little bit of vanilla? Yeah, I add a little bit of vanilla sometimes. And that's really it. Or else instead of the pumpkin, you can mash it up with bananas. And then with the bananas, it almost kind of comes out like, when I use bananas, I'll mix it with the oats. I'll also blend oats into powder or a flour. And I'll use a mixture of oat flour and the oats. Okay, a little bit of vanilla, lots of brown sugar, and it comes out almost like a little banana bread. It's like a banana bread cookie, and those are fat free. I mean, if you wanted to add a little bit of chocolate chips or something, I mean, you could. That's going to up the fat a bit, obviously, but I just try to keep it low fat for me. For my husband, I would put chocolate chips in it. But yeah, and it tastes like a little banana bread, guys, and it really does hit the spot. And I love them because I feel like I can eat as many as I want, and I don't really feel guilty about it or worried about it, like if I had added a whole bunch of overt fat to it. So yeah, so those are just some, little things that you can do to kind of keep it high carb, low fat up until, so you're not like indulging in the whole entire month and really setting yourself back in terms of your health and stuff. But I'm all for, enjoying Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Okay. And, I indulge a little bit. I obviously have higher fat on those days, more salt, and I'm okay with it. It's 2 days and it's just, it is what it is. But when I eat on those days though, I always have, like when I say I indulge in the evening. I always have fruit and green smoothies, even on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, all throughout the day. I still eat high, raw, lots of fruit, get in my pound of spinach. It's just at night when, I have a little bit more fun on those couple of days, okay? And that way you still get to enjoy those days and feel like, you lived a little, but, you didn't do it for the whole entire month where, after Christmas is over and you've put on 10 pounds and you just feel really sluggish or moody, and, we don't want that. So anyways, guys, so yeah, I just thought I would just share that with you. And I think you should really, if you haven't ever tried chestnuts, they're really so good. They're so nutty. They're really, really tasty. And also, I mean, I'm sure most of you have tried apple cider, but it's really good if you just let it heat up over the stove and you put in, lots of cinnamon sticks and cloves and whatnot, and it just kind of takes it up to the next level. So, but yeah, but that's my video for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll be back again for another video. Thanks, guys. Bye.